Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Short News Podcast with your host, Alex Mador.
And welcome back to the Short News Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Mador.
Oh, thank you. Wow. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute since we've done an episode like this.
Anyways, what's been going on? A lot. It's February 13th, 2024. Is that right? What year is it? What year is it, folks? Who am I? What's going on? What's going on? Well, the Super Bowl just happened, and I didn't watch a wink of it. I didn't see any, not even the halftime show, nothing like that. Not because I believe that the big game is some sort of way for the wealthy elite to suck the life force out of us, like a lot of podcasters think. Just because I wasn't interested. I was playing guitar. I was doing other things. I was, cuddling with my cat and eating ice cream in bed and reading all of the memes on Twitter, but didn't see any of the game. But yeah, the Chiefs won. Congratulations to Taylor Swift for winning her first Super Bowl. Here's to many more. A round of applause for Taylor Swift, folks. Yeah. And to the Kansas City Chiefs as well. Good job, I guess. But you couldn't have done it without Taylor. We all know that. Come on. Anyways, yeah, I didn't watch any of the fucking game. I don't like football. It just reminds me of all of the head injuries that I myself have experienced in my life. It reminds me that later on in life, I'm probably going to have CTE. Fun times, good things. So it's February 13th, which means tomorrow is Valentine's Day. And that is a tough time for a lot of people, whether you're in a relationship or not. It's stressful if you're in a relationship because you're trying to top the year before. And if you're alone, like me, it's tough because it's like, damn, I wish that I could stress about this holiday, but I have no reason to. And that sucks. But I'm going to be spending the holiday alone with my cat. And that's what needs to happen this year. And that's how it was last year. And you know what? That's something that I have to learn to be okay with. If I'm ever going to thrive in a relationship in the future. And listen, it's not like I'm spending every second of my life alone with my cat. I mean, I spend a lot of time alone with my cat now, but I enjoy it now. I appreciate it. I've been getting to know myself a little better, but yeah, I'm dating slowly, but without expectations. I think when I was with my ex, it hadn't been enough time since I lived with my ex-fiance before her, someone who I was with for 7 whole years. And you get used to a certain way of life, and half a year isn't nearly enough time to stop expecting your next relationship to be exactly like that, in the good ways or the bad ways, whether it be, trying to recreate the good things or preparing for the trauma of the bad things that happened in the past. And I think I so badly wanted to have the same thing that I had, but with someone different, even though they were clearly someone different. And especially because I personally think they were so much better for me and to me than the person who came before them. I went from waking up next to and coming home from work to and going to sleep with the same person every single day for many years. And they became family to me, and that became a routine that made me feel comfortable and made me feel secure. And became a huge part of my life. And even if the person who came after them was good for me, my expectations for what that relationship should or would look like were very different from the way things were before. And that's not wrong for it to be different. Like I said, what's going on with this microphone? That's a different relationship. What the fuck? That's a different relation. I'm gonna fucking kill somebody. One moment. As I was saying, oh my God. As I was saying, bitch, there's a different relationship with a different person, and it shouldn't ever be exactly the same. No one relationship is the same as any previous relationship. It's not one size fits all, and it never will be, because we're all different, and that's what makes meeting new people so interesting in the first place. And it sucks. It sucks that I wasn't ready, and it sucks even more for what I did afterwards, which was try to fulfill those wants or expectations again by rushing into something even faster with someone else afterwards, instead of taking the time I needed to take to learn how to be by myself, which would have prevented me from making the mistakes that I ended up making, the horrible, royally fucked up fuck-ups that I made by moving in with someone else so quickly and very swiftly moving back once I realized this was a horrible thing to do. And if you're listening to this, and I know you will be at some point, you know who you are, and I appreciate who you are, and I wish I could have taken more time for myself before meeting you. But then I may have never met you. And as much as not being with you in that way hurts, I'd rather hold on to the good memories than forget the entire situation altogether. Again, I wish I could say the same about what came afterwards, but that whole thing was so traumatic, and I honestly think I not only deserved the trauma, but also needed it in order to shock myself into making the right changes in my life to prevent myself from rushing into another relationship or making other bad decisions later on. This was the bad decision to end all bad decisions, hopefully. Now, I'm really making sure to take the time for myself. I used to be incapable of this. I always had to be doing something, moving somewhere, going out with friends or staying in with friends or in a relationship or living with someone. I couldn't deal with the noise that comes with being alone. But if I can't stand being by myself, then how am I going to be healthily capable of being with someone in the future? I haven't even been able to do this podcast on my own because I had started hating listening to myself or being by myself because it didn't feel right. And that mindset transcended the podcast and snuck into my interpersonal relationships and love life in a damaging way. Now, I'm making an effort to do things differently. I spent a lot of time on my own, forcing myself to be sober for the majority of it, spending time doing nothing instead of succumbing to the constant need to be in motion or creating something or starting something or spending time with others. Lately, it's mostly been me and my cat. And yeah, like I said, I go on dates every now and then, but I don't want to feel emotionally dependent on anyone. So I only see that person once every couple of weeks and have little to no expectations, and not in a bad way or a spiteful way or an upsetting way either, in a way that makes the healthiest sense to me right now. A way where I still have time to enjoy my own company at the end of the day and learn what it is about myself that's even enjoyable, if anything at all, and as opposed to, being forced to stay on the phone until 2 a.m. with someone who I am starting to regret talking to, but I'm afraid of letting go. Anyways, I think sometimes it's hard because I see everyone around me getting married and having kids, and I feel like I've failed that part of life miserably, but it's not a race, and some people go through their whole lives without ever having those things, and I'm grateful to have experienced even a fraction of that for a limited time, because a lot of the time experiences like that are limited. Hell, we're only on this earth occupying these bodies for a limited time anyways. Nothing lasts forever. A younger coworker of mine recently asked me if I believe in true love, and I'd have to say I believe in true love with an asterisk, because that love can be true for the time being. It might be strong for a long time, for years, decades even, but everything dies. Love can grow stronger, but it can also grow weaker over time. Someone can be your twin flame or your soulmate without being with you for your entire life. They might only be that person for a chapter of your life, but you still had wonderful experiences or experiences in general that you shared with them, that you learned a lot from, good or bad, and you take that part or those parts of the relationship with you for the rest of your time on this earth. Just because that person is gone, that doesn't erase the fact that they've become a part of your story for the rest of time. And I won't lie, I still think about the times when I was 20, spending the summer with my ex, in a time where Trump wasn't even president yet. I was still on and off addicted to Xanax, had no aspirations to be a podcaster, and how I could barely even hold a conversation over the phone if I needed to. Those summer nights were fond memories for me, and I don't think I'll ever forget them unless I get whatever problem it is that Joe Biden has. The times where we were on the same page about life were wonderful and have shaped me in ways that I can't explain, and now I have to take those experiences with me and make new ones with new people, applying lessons learned without trying to relive the past the same way. You can love the past or embrace the past or look back on it fondly without trying to grasp at attempting to recreate it. And that's what I hope to do this year and for the rest of time. And that's my little message there about, relationship with self, relationship with others, coming to peace with certain things, and trying to move forward without moving forward in all the wrong ways. And looking back on the good times for most things, Speaking of good times, dry February. Like I said, we're halfway through the month. It's February 13th. And it sucks, man. Between Super Bowl Sunday and Valentine's Day alone, there's so many seemingly good reasons to drink. So I would say I will admit that last night I had a little bit of a minor setback. I dug into the wine that's been in my fridge for a while. I had a couple glasses of wine. Oh, how could I? How could I fucking do that? Do I have a soundboard sound for that?
And we say bye-bye.
I hit two buttons, and neither of them were I had 2 glasses of wine. Wendy Williams fart. That's my favorite.
Shut your fucking mouth! Shut the fuck!
Or what if it was like, I caved. I had 2 glasses of wine.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. A lot of alcoholics in the house who know what it's like to relapse. Hell yeah.
It's been difficult because, and I talked about this the last time that I quit drinking cold turkey, I had a lot of trouble with rediscovering myself during that time because for so long I knew myself as a drunk. As a creator, I would make sure to get fucked up before I made anything. TikToks, podcasts, music, whatever. Even now when I go on TikTok Live and I make music, I'm sober. for that experience, so I don't have the courage or the confidence that I had before. As I mentioned to Kelsey a few episodes back, what do I call that? Alcohol armor? That's what I need to deal with scary people in the chat on TikTok Live. If I don't have that, I'll have a panic attack. That's true. Even now, like, I'll be playing music and I'm like, why am I doing this? And I'm overthinking it way too much. When I was drinking every night, it was different. Like, I looked forward to going on live and I didn't think about being afraid of messing up. If I messed up, I went with it. Now I don't have that confidence. And it's a matter of building that back up again while also rebuilding all the other parts of my life that I now have to rebuild. And it's not easy to do that sober, especially when there's a lot of anxieties that come with that, go hand in hand with sobriety. You start realizing why you were drinking in the first place. And you're like, oh, maybe I should go back. And you have to tell yourself every day, no, like, you're doing a good job. Except yesterday, but you got to tell yourself, no, you've been doing a good job. You're not flying off the handle. You wake up, you're energized, you feel healthier, your stomach is fine. You don't have uncontrollable diarrhea anymore. Like, come on, these are good things. But it's still difficult. Anyone who's going through that understands how difficult that is. But meanwhile, I've also been rediscovering the wonders of weed. But I will say that trying to perform on weed, like TikTok Live and playing music, not possible. Scariest fucking thing ever. You would think that weed would chill you out and it'd be like, oh yeah, I can do that. I'm not overthinking it. No, you overthink things way, way too much, a whole lot more. So, trying to figure out how to perform live again, trying to re-find that part of my voice where I sing from, because now I'm overthinking that and I can't fucking find it. And the album, it was supposed to come out tomorrow, but it's going to be delayed a little longer because there are still some things that need to be fixed. And this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would, but I'm also very much afraid of pushing out a rushed product. I want this to be good. I want this to maybe not stand the test of time, but at least be good for like a year, like be enjoyable for a little while without getting old or feeling shitty or regretting it or that type of thing. What are you going to do, huh? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to figure this shit out and get off my back, get off my ass. I'll do what I fucking want. That's my album update. What else is on the list here? Responding to listener feedback. Oh, do we want to do this one? Is this something we want to do? I was told not to poke the bear, but if there's anything that I have always liked doing, it is poking the bear. So on a fairly recent episode of me and Kelsey's podcast, The Pool House with Alex and Kelsey, we received some feedback. And we don't usually get feedback through Spotify podcasts. Usually people will, reach out over Instagram, DMs, or Twitter or something about something that they either enjoyed or if they just fucking hate my guts. Usually it's me. Kelsey's very likable. I'm, 50-50. You either like me a little bit or you just fucking hate me. Which, again, understandable. Especially coming from this person. Because we know who this is, folks. We know who this is. Believe me. So, yeah, I'm on the podcast app. Just like, oh, what's this? I open it up because I'm like, oh, we got feedback. And it was... IDK, what's more concerning? Your lies or the fact that a therapist believes you and encourages your delusions? I truly hope you seek health. This is not it, buddy. First of all, seek health. That's not something that anybody says. It's seek help. If you're telling me to seek help, I am. Help from your scary ass. This is the work of someone who's been blocked on everything from iMessage all the way to fucking Facebook, where they probably still use dial-up to get online because, Facebook is old people and other people, scary people. I will say, so seek health. You're supposed to say seek help. So this is not it, buddy. Secondly, the therapist that you're referring to, I really hope you don't mean Dr. Phil, because Dr. Phil is not a licensed therapist. Like he lost his therapy license a long time. He just lives in my house. Like I adopted Dr. Phil. Like he's not a therapist. What the fuck? What did you just say? Oh, I'm not a fucking therapist. That's some fucking bullshit right there. Yeah, it's me, Dr. Phil. Thank you. Yeah, I'm still a fucking doctor. Still a doctor. What's going on here? What are we looking at? What are we looking at here? You're, Phil, we were just reading that feedback that the podcast recently got. Oh, well, listen, I read that feedback too, and I could diagnose you with a couple of, diagnose this person with a couple of different things, but my standard diagnosis would be crazy fucking bitch disorder. You've been told to stay the fuck away a lot here, and you still don't listen. And what's the fucking deal with that? I gotta say, I know a thing or two about telling a bitch once or twice that they need to. Phil, this isn't it. Okay, this isn't it either. I would just like to say, reaching out over Spotify feedback after you've been blocked on everything else, what are you gonna do? Try to reach out with a fucking carrier pigeon like it's World War I? You think Dr. Phil won't shoot that fucking pigeon down? You got a different thing coming to you, Missy. I've got accuracy like the Israeli missile defense system. I'll take that shit down like a laser. Phil, I really don't know if this is the direction that we should be taking. Listen, I got it covered, okay? I'm a professional. So what you need to do is you need to march yourself right back to the get the fuck outsville and let this bitch-ass bitch boy write his sad music in peace. That's what you gotta do, okay? Because this is starting to get fucking ridiculous. Just because he talks to me about the traumatic events of traveling out west. Listen, that's the doctor-patient confidentiality, all right? Like, I'm not telling fucking shit to anybody. What I will say is you need to back the fuck off, respectfully. This is going to be the last time that I mention your sorry ass. Like, what happened to Memento? What happened to the mementoing? The erasing of the memory? What didn't you understand about Memento? Phil, that was a bit. Like, we didn't actually erase our memory. Well, clearly, you tried your best, but this shit keeps popping up left and right. It's not very easy to forget when they keep barraging you with bullshit. Fucking carrier pigeons. Speaking of covering up bad memories, I'd like to turn the camera over to my wife Robin's makeup products. We got a cover up right over here that you really might like. To cover up the fucking bullshit that you've been fucking saying. Phil, it's an audio only podcast. Well, what the fuck is that about? What is the budget of this show? $2? All right, well, that's Dr. Phil, everyone. I guess I don't have to say anything. That's right. Bye, bitches. All right, he's walking. Where are you? He's going to the corner. He's putting on the VR headset. He's taking off his pants. Oh, Phil, come on. Oh, okay. Well, that's going on over there. Anyways, what else is going on? We got the election, 2024. Yeah. In between burps. I'm so professional. Oh my God, I'm so professional. Anywho, Joe Biden's been in hot water this past week for some classified documents that he was keeping in his garage. They found those, and his lawyer's defense of him is that he is a well-to-do, well-meaning, elderly man with not the best memory. Now, does that sound like someone who should be running a country? That's a great defense to keep you out of prison, or to keep you out of getting a mugshot taken, at least. But that's not really something that's going to help you win the presidency. That's what I have to say about that. That makes you look weaker than you already did. People were already questioning your mental well-being or your capacity to do the things that need to be done to run an entire country. And now it's like, oh yeah, he doesn't remember the classified documents that he was holding on to in his house. That's something that you should kind of remember if you're president. You should kind of remember also like world leaders' names and not mix them up for long deceased world leaders. That you shouldn't be mixing them up with world leaders of different countries. That doesn't look very good either. But that's what we've got. It's Joe Biden versus Donald Trump again. Unless they both, I don't know, slip in the shower or something. So what takes out old people? I don't know. My great-grandmother, she died because she tripped on a curb and broke her hip, and it was the anesthesia during surgery that did her in. These are old fucks. They're not going to be around for much longer regardless. And Joe's mind is really starting to go. His defense, when he went up there and they were asking him questions about his mental fortitude, the grumpy old manness of that, where he's like, "Oh, well, that's your opinion, Jack. You better stop with that malarkey. Yeah, I'm good. I can drive home. I'm not drunk. Give me my fucking keys. I can do it." Then they call him away from the microphone. He hears a question he doesn't like. They're like, "Joe, no," and he runs back out to the podium. He's like, "And another thing, we're doing war crimes in Israel. I don't like it. It sucks. We should probably cut back on that." They're like, "Joe, stop. Don't admit that." Yeah, well, you know what else? I jerked off right before this. And dust came out, folks. And that's... They're like, "This is more than we asked for. God damn, this is a lot more than we bargained for." And they make him leave again. He comes back out. "And another thing. I just shit my pants right now. I do that all the time. Let me pull down my pants right now." He's wearing Depends. He's wearing 5 pairs of Depends. "Yeah, that's how you gotta... That's the only wall that I'm building, the one between my asshole and the floor. And there's shit in between. And that's what's keeping the shit from hitting the floor. Or the fan. Yeah, Dr. Jill's gotta keep me from fucking shitting into a ceiling fan." That's what I thought they meant by that statement, folks. I'm with it. I'm hip with the kids. I know what's good. I know a thing or two about memory. You put one card in front of me. You tell me what that card is. You flip it over. There's a 50-50 chance that I might remember 10 seconds later what it was. That's tough to do, folks, for anyone. That's not easy for anyone. And folks, you gotta you gotta remember, because I don't. Fuck, shit. So we got that on one side, and then the other side, the same as before, pretty much, just a little older version of. They don't make cars like they used to, folks. Now the Chevrolets identify as they them. What's that about, folks? We're gonna make cars have genders again, folks, like the movie Cars. Remember Lightning McQueen? It's gonna be great. He was a he him, not a they them. We're gonna make minivans he him again, folks. That's what we're gonna do. None of this woke mob bullshit, believe me. The Super Bowl was rigged in favor of Joe Biden, folks. Taylor Swift is going to be his running mate. Just wait and see. It's not going to be Kamala Harris, because I still can't say it on purpose. Folks, it's way too exotic of a name for me. I can't say it. I am the whitest of the white people. I'm the king, folks. All the way down to mispronouncing any name that seems foreign to me and doing it on purpose. It's got a microaggression, folks. It's a microaggression. They don't like it. The liberals hate it, folks. Meanwhile, Palestine is being just fucking annihilated by Israel, and we're just passing them more and more Patriot missiles under the table. Just like, yeah, whatever. Go for it. I remember the Holocaust. That was scary. We don't want another one of those to happen. So why don't you go and do one to some other group? As long as it's not you guys, right? Oh, God, it's so horrible. And nothing's changing. Nothing's being done about it. I mean, Biden said today that he wants there to be a ceasefire. He wants this war to stop, where it's not really a war anymore. It's just Israel claims that there's a Hamas base in a fucking elementary school somewhere in Gaza, and then they level the place with the help of the United States and whatever NATO countries want to fucking help out and send over weaponry to kill more innocent civilians. Be like, oh, but Hamas could have been there. Why am I doing a Trump voice? Oh, Hamas could have been there, folks. You guys know Hamas. It's aside from being a dip for your pretzels, they're terrorists, and they could be anywhere. I got a tweet today. Someone told me there was a Hamas base in a Build-A-Bear workshop in Connecticut. So I blew that shit up, folks. We won't take terrorism from anyone, folks. You tell me where Hamas is. I'll take him out. I'll go down there myself with my 2 fists, and I'll be like, I did this to Corn Pop. I'll do it to you. Yeah, you remember Corn Pop, folks? You remember that story I told by a swimming pool? 'Cause I don't. I'm just reading a teleprompter. Corn Pop, he was a bad dude. So I took him out back to the dumpster. I took my 2 fists and I put them where the sun don't shine. And that's the day we found out that we were in love. Fuck, I shouldn't have said that. Walks away from the microphone. Comes back. Hey, yeah, we're doing war crimes, folks. We're doing lots of war crimes. Yeah, that's what America's all about. There hasn't been a single fucking president who hasn't been a war criminal. Except somehow Donald Trump. That's fucked up. That's weird. He's a criminal in other ways, but war crimes, he wouldn't do it. He doesn't have the balls. Folks, I have the balls to be a war criminal. Boy, do they hang low. Because I'm old. I got the debate shouldn't be us going back and forth about policy. It should be we should pull down our pants. We see whose balls hang fucking lower to the ground. Fucking Megyn Kelly puts out a tape measure. I would win that shit, folks. And I'd make Megyn Kelly very uncomfortable. Folks, don't believe him. I would make Megyn Kelly even more uncomfortable. You heard me talk about shit with Billy Bush on that bus. You know what I'm into, folks. It was locker room talk. Imagine what I do. I don't know. What I do now as an older man, it'd be sauna talk, folks. Sauna talk. He's really missing out on an opportunity to start a podcast called Locker Room Talk. He could just do that all day. It would be easier than the rallies. He wouldn't have to go anywhere. He could just be in that bathroom with all the classified documents in Mar-a-Lago and be like, I'm coming to you live from my studio. Welcome to Locker Room Talk. I'm joined by my son, Eric. Don Jr. couldn't make it, so I've got the mentally handicapped one here, Eric. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing great, Dad. When do we go for ice cream?
Oh, God, he's got Joe Biden disease. It's hitting early. What are we going to do, folks? This episode of Locker Room Talk is brought to you by Blue Chew. I don't need it, but you might. Trust me, everything is working in that department. People like to tell me, Donald, how do you have such a hard cock at age 77? And I say, well, it's not from Blue Chew. It's a medical condition. It's the opposite of ED. It's EF, erectile function. I've got a hard cock, folks. Believe me. It's a hard cock. It's the hardest you've ever seen. Folks, don't believe him. That shit's softer than Drake in that Mirror video where he's just swinging it around. You guys see that Drake video? I gotta say, for a flaccid penis, that's pretty impressive. Swinging it around like it's a fucking tube sock. That's some crazy shit, folks. Anyways, I gotta stop. What I will say is free Palestine. Israel needs to stop with the madness. Stop just barraging innocent people with artillery and missiles. It doesn't... You can't cite the genocide that happened to you 80 years ago to support you doing a genocide to other people now. That's not going to cut it. Except for with some dumbasses on Twitter who put the Ukraine and Israel flags side by side in their bios or in their Twitter name. It's like, do you even know what you stand for? Or are you just like doing what's trendy? Because you think you're doing your part, but you're not actually thinking critically about the entire thing. It's really dumb. It really pisses me off when I see that. Because it's like, all right, well, what about putting the U.S. tax dollars that you're putting towards missiles to level cities in Palestine towards, I don't know, getting Americans out of tent cities and into actual homes, or making sure every American is, covered when it comes to health care, so they don't have to just sit there and take it and succumb to illness like it's the fucking cowboy days of Red Dead Redemption, where if you get a migraine, you're dead. It's over. You got 2 hours to live. Like, that's what it's coming back to. We have such modern technology, but everybody's priced out of it. Everybody's priced out of access to things that should be a human right. The fact that water isn't even a human right, the fact that you have to go to the fucking store to buy water. I know, to some of you, you're going to be like, really? That's what you're nitpicking? Yeah. Water, which you could find a fucking aquifer, you can just cup from a lake, but we've polluted all the bodies of water, so now you have to buy water from like Nestle or Dasani or Poland Spring or whatever, and they just own all the fucking water. You ever think about that? How water, you could just like, there was once a time before we polluted everything, where you could go outside and just like cup your hands and drink water from a lake. You can't do that anymore, folks. You can't drink water from a lake. It'll eat out your insides because we poured too much fucking oil. There's a 6-pack of Coca-Cola choking out a turtle. Believe me, it's crazy, I know. And this shit's ridiculous. And you know what else is ridiculous, folks? The fact that Sony Pictures... that's my transition here. Can't get a fucking Spider-Man movie right. You know what makes a good Spider-Man movie? Sony Pictures. Having the main fucking character of Spider-Man in your Spider-Man movie. Not setting up all of these spin-offs where Spider-Man isn't even fucking in it. You tease all of these things related to Spider-Man, and then you cut them all out in the final cut of the movie. People are coming there thinking, oh, maybe we'll find out more about this universe of Spider-Man. Nope. It's like he doesn't even fucking exist. And I'm speaking, of course, of the most recent release, Madam Web, which I haven't seen yet, but the reviews are in, and it was fucking garbage. And this isn't a complaint about an all-female cast or anything like that. I think that everyone in that movie is a really great actor or actress. I think they cast a lot of really talented people. But once again, The executives at Sony Pictures are trying to squeeze as much money out of a franchise that they don't even want to take the time to understand, that they don't want to listen to the fans about, to make an end result that is complete, utter garbage. And it started with Spider-Man 3 during the Sam Raimi days, before Holland, before Garfield. Spider-Man 3 was when the executives started getting greedy. Avi Arad, this greedy fucking ass, being like, we should add like 5 villains into this. No, you shouldn't. You should make a movie with a good plot that encompasses what Spider-Man has been to so many people. If you can't do that, give up the rights to the fucking character back to the rightful owners of Marvel. The only reason that the Holland films have worked is because you let Marvel do most of the heavy lifting and driving when it comes to these characters that they actually understand a little better than you. And then Sony Pictures, what if we make a Morbius film? Yeah. What if we make, and Jared Leto could be Morbius, because every time Jared Leto does a film, it works out fucking great, right? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. He's a terrible actor. He was good in Dallas Buyers Club, and that's it. And he's tried to do the same fucking bullshit every time, where he's like, I'm going all in on this role. I'm going to be a method actor. Everyone who works with him thinks he's a major fucking prick, hates him, and then the movie sucks. Morbius? Absolute fucking shit. Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Andrew Garfield was fantastic. The decisions that the studio executives wanted to make with that, fucking garbage. They ruined his chances of being Spider-Man for a while. And now here we are again. You don't even have a Spider-Man, Sony. You're making all these movies without the main guy that all these other characters are supposed to be a part of the franchise of. It's a Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man every time. And how do people keep falling for it? Here's the answer. They don't. Every time they make another one. Kraven the Hunter. There's no Spider-Man. He's a Spider-Man villain, dude. You don't even have the fucking main character. We don't need an entire movie about like a younger, hotter version of Kraven the Hunter. How many times are you going to try this gritty CW show type of bullshit reboot when you could just make a good adaptation of the source material, including the title character that all of this is supposed to encompass around, or whatever the fuck? Nope, you squeeze it for everything you've got, or everything it's got, in the dumbest of ways, and everybody hates you for it. My message to Sony Pictures here: you got other franchises. Give up the rights to a character that you clearly have no intent on doing justice with. Give it up back to the rightful owners, the creators, who actually have respect for the character. Stop doing this shit. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Anyways, I am going to go live on TikTok now. I'm also going to edit this while I do that. But yeah, I'm going to try to make more music and make these songs better. And next time we do this, I'll have more news to cover, more current events. But right now, I'm going to go do this, eat a snack and all that fun stuff. But this has been another episode of the Short News Podcast. We are back.
I was going to say better than ever, but that's a lie. But we're back, and we'll be back again. I appreciate you. Almost every single one of you. Some more than others. Others not at all. But folks, I'll see you in the next one. All right. Bye-bye.